Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. As promised, yesterday I posted part 1 of my getting started with Zepbound, in my weight loss journey. So I was able to get through. I made some notes for you, and I was able to get through about half of them, and then I ran out of time. And as promised, here I am for the second part. But before I get into that, I was checking out my channel. It's been so nice posting these videos because it's kind of, how would I say it? It piqued my interest again for YouTube and, posting content and just, sharing things and vlogging and that kind of thing. And I ran across, when I first started talking about my Zepbound and how I've been for the past year losing weight. And I noticed, and I keep in my videos saying, leave me a comment and, ask a question. And then I go to my YouTube page and you can't leave a comment. And I was like, how in the world did that happen, where I'm posting videos to be interactive? And I do appreciate all the few followers that I have, subscribers, and everyone who has watched my videos. At least if they want to have an opportunity to leave an emoji or something like that, it was taken away. So I looked at the first initial video that I did when I said I transitioned from Invisalign to now trying to lose weight with the GLP-1. And then I posted, this introduction to how I got started. I wanted to kind of share some stuff. And then, boom, can't even comment on it. So I apologize for that. I had to really do some researching yesterday to figure out what was wrong. I went through YouTube video after YouTube video. I had all my permissions on. I had made Invisalign videos before where I had comments. And I just was wondering where the disconnect was. And at first I couldn't figure out. And it was just like consuming my brain. Because I'm like, I'm taking this time to share. And I want, if someone wants to share back, to be able to. Anyway, I figured it out. The problem was the Wi-Fi, because right now I'm recording at work, and even at home, my home Wi-Fi did the same thing. You have to open up permissions in order to make your videos public on some sort of domains with the Wi-Fi. So I figured out I'll just use my 5G and upload the video, which I was able to make a testing video. And then I used my 5G and it went through with the comments. So I don't have it 100% fixed, but I think you all will be able to comment on this video. So please, 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 if you watch, whomever watches, please leave me a sun. Leave me a sun or a moon, in the comments, and hopefully I'll get it right this time. So, moving along. I hope I don't get interrupted, but if I do get interrupted, as usual, I will do a brief pause and then I'll come back. So yesterday I talked about the price of Zepbound. I talked about how I'm able to save a little bit of money with it because I have a HSA account. I talked about how Eli Lilly is very user-friendly and they have good customer service. Once your doctor sends in your prescription to Eli Lilly, it's a seamless process. I also shared with you why I like the vials. And I also shared that there is a new pen available for those people like me who insurance does not pay and you're paying out of pocket. They have a new pen, quick pen, injection pen to help you take your medicine. I'm not taking that. I like the vials, and I explained that in my last video. So that was about, what I covered. I'm sorry if I'm long-winded. I like to explain stuff. That's kind of like the downfall of being a teacher, but you can fast forward through my banter and, that kind of thing if you want. So a few more points I wanted to share. How I tracked my weight. So once I got started on that first shot, man, I would say the first maybe a month and a half, and because I'm using my phone, I can't really see, but I would say the first month and a half I lost a good chunk of weight. I remember that first week of taking Zepbound, I think I lost 8 pounds in that first week. I think that's pretty standard and normal. Anytime you start exercise routine or dieting or, cutting back, you always lose the bulk of the weight towards in the beginning. And it's been very consistent, kind of throughout. I have had some stalls, and I'll talk about that in a second, but how I track my weight. So when I called to find out why my Zep wasn't covered on the phone, the nice insurance representative put me on track with Teladoc. So Teladoc is a part of my medical insurance. It's a additional, I would say it's kind of like an app website where it's like for you to encourage you to be healthy, whether that be mental health care, weight loss. They also have, there's another component to Teladoc. Oh, online doctor's appointments, things like that. So I used that system. So she got me that provider once she, explained to me that the Zep wasn't covered. She said, well, there is something that you're not utilizing that we have. So they sent me, so I went ahead and signed up, answered the questionnaire. You put how much weight you want to lose. So my goal, at that time, I was 248 pounds. My goal, really, to be honest with you, was whatever. It was like 10 pounds could have been my goal. I just wanted to lose some weight. So I think at the time, I've since changed it. I think at the time I put 200, I might have put 200 pounds as my goal. So you give a goal, you fill out this little quick questionnaire, and they kind of give you things, like healthy tips and things of that nature, and they give you a free smart scale. So all I have at home are old school scales. So I had one digital scale, and then I have one that's really old where it's just the numbers in the circle, and you got to calibrate it and make sure that the needle is on 0. If it's not, the weight will be off. So this smart scale stuff is new to me. So Teladoc, when I signed up, they sent me a smart scale. They sent me one and my son one, which was nice. So it's nice to have that because I'm able to track how my weight loss is every month. It tells me how many pounds I lost or how many I gained, which I haven't in the past year, but yeah, it's really nice to have that smart scale, and then it has the app to go with it. Also, if I don't get on the scale, it'll send me like a little message like, weigh in, because you put that in there like, I want to weigh in once a week, monthly. I weigh myself probably like every other day. I don't want to be obsessive about it, because when I went through my last weight loss journey, I was very obsessive about that. And I think I sabotaged myself a lot with being over obsessed with the scale. So, yeah, I weigh myself about every other day, every 2-3 days. If I've kind of overeaten, and we know when we have went a little bit excessive, you can feel it in your body. I do not weigh myself, because I don't even want to set myself up for that kind of disappointment. So anyway, I got a smart scale, so that's how I track my weight. Teladoc is a nice app, so if that is available to you, I highly recommend. Plus, they give you a free scale, and they track your weight. I will do another video and tell you what the month to month was. I'm recording this on my phone right now, but I'll have to, get the information out of the app, and then I'll share with you month to month of my past year next video. Okay, what are my doses? What did the doses look like? Is like a big question for people. I know there's lots of GLP-1 YouTubers that talk about dosage. That is a big GLP-1 in the community. That is a big conversation piece. So what the doses were kind of for me, it worked out really well. I didn't really have a preconceived notion about dosages and what it would do for me. My dosages changed based on when I saw my doctor. So I see my doctor either in the doctor's office, or she will do a telehealth visit with me on via a Zoom. Okay. So I go up in dose when I see her. So from the time that the appointment's over, she'll send me the new dose, and I stay on that dose until I see her again. So it's been very nice, because that took should I move up? Should I move down? Am I on this too long? And, should I, the 5, is that going? So it took all that anxiety out, because I knew I had to ride with it until I saw my doctor again. I never once emailed her. I see her every 3 months or so. So I saw her 4 times out of the year, which is going to make a lot of sense on what dose I'm on right now. So it took all of that changing dosage out of the equation for me. I know a lot of people really think about, should I move up because I'm stalled, or stalled on weight loss, whatever the case may be. I haven't had that problem. So I stay on each dose for about 3 months, each dose. You start off at 2.5. That's the initial smallest dose for Zepbound. There's other GLP-1s, and I think the dosages are all different. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not any sort of medical professional. So this is just my experience. I started on the 2.5. I was on that for about 3 months. Then after that, I moved to 5. I was on that for about 3 months. Then after 5 is 7.5. I was on that for about 3 months, okay? And then after 7.5, I believe it's 10. It was the same thing. And now, presently, I'm on 12.5. So that's my current dosage right now. Now I have one more level that I can move up, and that's the 15. I had a doctor's appointment, telehealth, with my doctor just this past last week. I had just got a new batch of 12.5. I can't remember how many batches. I think this was my third batch of 12.5. So I still have like almost a full 4 months. I think I have a 3-week supply. And she was already sending my script in for my 15. So in about 3 or 4 weeks or so, I will be moving up to 15. But right now, I'm on 12.5. I would say of all the dosages, this 12.5 for me has been the best, especially in my later stages of weight loss. I want to lose, at least if I could, in a perfect world, would be 30 more pounds if I could. So that would put me around the 80-pound mark, and I think that would be a comfortable weight for me. That would be an 80-pound loss, and I would be about in the 160s. So 30 more pounds, yeah, put me in the 160s. That whole span. But a 20 being in the 170s, I think will also be comfortable for me. So it just depends on how my body does. My weight loss is slowing down. I have noticed that it's slowing down. But it has not stopped. And with this 12.5, I saw a little bit of an extra boost. I got on the scale this morning. So the day before I got on the scale, I was 197 pounds. So I was down a pound from last week. I was happy about that because I was last week at 50 pounds exactly. So then, come this week, a few days ago, I was, down 1 pound. Then today, just for the heck of it, I did some yard work yesterday, and I was kind of moving and shaking yesterday. I was like, let me see, how my body did with that. And I was 195 pounds. So I am currently at a 53-pound weight loss. So the dosages have been okay for me. I'm not in a rush to go up to the 15. I'm going to slide with this 2.5. I don't know. And at the rate I'm going, if this 12.5 continues to give me this 1, 2, 3 pound losses, I might even have my doctor switch it from 15 to go back to 12.5 if they can with Eli Lilly, because this has been probably the best dose for me since 2.5 in the beginning, where everyone tends to lose the most weight. All right. And last one that I'm going to talk about, exercise. So I just spoke about that, me doing some yard work and things like that. And you might say, Chaz, that's not a lot of, why would you lose that many pounds when you did just some yard work? Well, it's because I have not did my part with the exercise. I don't have no excuses. I can't come up with no explanations on why I haven't been exercising. I have not. This entire year, other than, some days I'm walking more than others, just because I'm at somewhere with my daughter where I have to walk more. I did do 2 5K walks last year. One with my son, both times with my son, and then one of them was for my daughter. I did do that, but it was a walk. I did not run the 5K. I walked the 5K. But other than that, I have not exercised. This is the kicker. This is another kicker. So years ago, I did get rid of my gym membership because I was just paying for that membership and I was not participating. I was like, I got to do something. I got to get something in the house because I am not going to go to a gym. So I went ahead, canceled my gym membership, and bought a treadmill. I bought my treadmill, I want to say, a year and a half ago. Before I started my Zepbound journey, I bought a treadmill. So, this was already in my brain that this was something that I needed to do. I have been on that treadmill probably 6 times. The treadmill in the morning looks at me and I look at it. I keep walking and it sits there with clothes on top of it. So I feel so ashamed because I know in my heart, if I would just incorporate 30 minutes on that treadmill, the 53 pounds that I have lost would probably be, 30% more if I would only get walking on that treadmill at the least. Now, I also have 5-pound dumbbells in my room as well as 5-pound ankle weights that I could just put the ankle weights on and work all day. I have no excuses. Hopefully, telling this in this video will give me some accountability to do better because I haven't done better and I need to. So hopefully this video will just give me some motivation to do what it is that I need to do because I'm cutting down on my meals. I'm taking this magnificent drug that has worked wonders for me. First of all, it's very expensive, so you have to take it seriously. I am, I've cut down on, my portions. The main thing that I've done, which I am proud of myself for doing this, portion control. I don't even put it on my plate, not anymore. I know exactly what portion to put. I used to eat, for example, when I got chicken, I needed 3 pieces. I needed the 3-piece chicken. I needed the mashed potatoes and gravy. I needed the macaroni and cheese. I needed the coleslaw. I needed the biscuit and something to drink. Now, if I go to that same chicken place, I get 1 piece of chicken. I get 1 side. I do not eat the biscuit, and I get a Diet Coke. So this is how I've been able to lose this 53 pounds, and it's been because of portions. And if I would just incorporate the exercise, I would be gravy. So please, 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 in the comments, give me your motivation, your encouragement of what you do to get motivated for exercise. And I don't want to make this video any longer, but my last thought is I go to work every day. I'm giving my all to students, which is not physically demanding, but it's a lot of mental, because I'm molding little children and I have to be careful, every move that they're watching me. So you're under a microscope, and, not only am I teaching them content, I'm also trying to be a mentor. I'm trying to be somebody that they can look up to. It's a lot that I carry. And then I'm at work, then I get home and I have my children. And I need my time to, unwind and kind of shut my brain off. And the last thing I want to do is exercise. But I have to, because I know Zepbound is only going to continue to work if I continue to work. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you all so much. I've really gotten a nice this is a good feeling to be able to share these stories. I'm going to come right back on here next week. I'll tell you about whatever progress I made through the week. And then I'm kind of going to go over with you how I track my weight, because it's a very user-friendly app that I use. So that's what I'll have on, and whatever I think of, I'll put in my notes. I'm keeping track of my notes just for my YouTube videos. And I just want to say thank you all for watching. Please leave me a sun or a moon emoji in the comments. I'm praying that I do it right and that you can comment. Everyone have a blessed week, and I'll see everyone soon. Bye-bye.